I didn't even come close that time.
I'm just
It's like Georgia at the SEC championship, bro.
I'm going to take my time. But I didn't think it was going to be that bad. But I did tell you, like, it's just something about – I think he might get him the second go. But damn.
Might get what?
Like, they're going to play each other again.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, I didn't – like.
Oh, yeah, we can start there. Yeah. We don't need to bury the lead. Like,
it's so – like, to be honest with you, that's not even really burying the lead. It's so much to talk about now.
Well, I think that's the lead.
But obviously you come from that weekend, yeah.
Today's sports den is going to be a couple of times me just admitting when I was just dead ass wrong. Like, and on this one, it's like I feel like I gotta apologize. I gotta apologize to Nick Saban. Like, how dare me even think that he would lose a game? Like Nick Saban loses games, but they're never the games you think he's going to lose, right? It's like every time he gets into a big game, how does that even work? How's your weakness the other team's strength, but then you just flip it on them? Like, how do you go in there with an offensive line that Florida ate against and against a defensive line who's supposed to be full of first rounders, and they don't even sniff your quarterback? Like, I mean, I get the Nick Saban thing, but dang, dude.
I think when you say weakness, it's a little exaggerated. Like, weakness for, like, normally, but it was good enough. The one thing that Bama had that Florida kind of had, because Florida didn't even attempt to, like, you run on Kirby. Kirby would love for you to run on him.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're good at. But if you can give a little bit of time and you got a guy that can attack them deep, their weakness is in their secondary. Same with Alabama. Basically the same team, but just like the difference is Bama has studs at the wide receiver positions where they can consistently attack you. And that's where I was just like, yo, and then Bryce Young had elite quarterback play is what's going to win this game. And they have it better. And even at Florida, like,
when I say weakness, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Alabama's offensive line.
Right. They gave up 7 sacks against Auburn. They did some other stuff, but I don't think it's as bad as what
it's been bad all year.
Yeah, you watch per SEC standards, but I think like you still have a coach. Like what happened was with any team, once you start getting a rhythm and you getting the momentum and the quarterback's getting rid of the ball fast, that's what slows down the pass rush. And Bryce was making, and then, or guys who can extend the play, like they had him dead to rights. And then he figures out how to get to the next level, and then somebody steps up to make the tackle, and all of a sudden he becomes an option quarterback.
Yeah.
How the hell did he even know the guy was to the right?
I know, man.
It's just when it's kind of like, I don't know if this happened with Kirby. I'm not taking anything away from what Bama did, but sometimes you just when that happened, I'm like, I looked at Scott at Goodfellas, where we're going to be hosting a live show here in a few days. I said, hey man, this just isn't your day. This isn't you, because he came in with all the confidence in the world of a blowout.
Thing. I don't feel sorry for Georgia fans at all. I mean, not in one little tiny bit. But I will say, like, I mean, they all kind of told me, well, we're gonna do what Georgia does, and they did. And it was bad enough to where
wait, they're gonna like choke them in,
yes.
or are they gonna? Oh, okay.
Yes,
I thought they were like, yeah, we're gonna go in there and do what we do, smash.
No. Like my closest friends who are Georgia fans wouldn't believe the hype, and I was the one hyping them up. I was the one like, nah, man, this defense is legit, and Alabama just made them look average, made that defense look average, and it was bad enough that now I don't know that Georgia can beat them. Like, I don't know who I'm going to pick. But that game was enough of a thorough butt kicking that it's like, if they played again, on what basis could you expect Georgia to win?
I'm going to be honest with you. If there was more one-loss teams, like, I would have, like, remember I said if Alabama loses, there's no reason for that. Yep. That was such a thorough ass whooping that I'm not gonna lie to you, because I know it's gonna be Alabama, Georgia again. Alabama shouldn't have to whoop your ass twice. Not the way they did it. The only example we have in recent history is really LSU versus Alabama, when LSU beat Bama at Bama, but it was 9-6.
Yeah, it was a 3-point game. Yeah.
So I kind of and I didn't want to give Bama.
And then the rematch was the most boring game in the history of college football.
I remember exactly where I was at. It was terrible. But I don't. They're just, again, that's why this is, even though I sent you something that does, when you frame it, the playoff it does kind of make me a little bit more interested to see where it would go if the 4 teams get a bye. But I just know how this is going to end. I know I like Cincinnati, and I love the story. I know Bama. I know Bama is going to whoop them. I like Michigan and what Harbaugh's finally done. Finally turned the corner seemingly. But he's the Big Ten team that's not Ohio State. We've seen this story before.
Yeah, he's got an issue because his whole game is running the ball.
Right, and you're going right into what Georgia does. And unless you come up with a game plan that goes up-tempo that keeps Jordan Davis off the field, all you're going to, we're going to see the matchup.
Nick Saban cost that man so much money.
Right, and what I saw in that championship game that was just wild, and it humbled the hell out of me, and I'm not arrogant. No, we're not close. Oh my God, Georgia! I know what Georgia's defensive line has done to people, and though Alabama did a lot of it in the air, some of the holes, it was just like in the hitting. Like, fans talk about, and I chuckle playing a position that was very violent. But people who've never done anything say like, oh, he's soft or he's done this. What? Nothing soft about any of them young men out on that field. Them guys was hitting. And I'm just sitting here thinking in my head like, yo, they hit some of my guys at my alma mater right now. I'm praying.
Cancel the season.
I'm praying for the guy. They knocking COVID in the kids. And it's just, I'm like, maybe if that's what call me whatever you want to call me, but if that's the level of play for the playoff, call me crazy. I'm cool with making a bowl game, man. Yeah. Just give me one extra game, dude. Until we get some cats like that.
Here's what's crazy about it is it's like a style, right? Like this whole thing, we all know that football is a game of matchups, but it's a style that gives people problems.
Right.
If you think about last year's SEC championship game, it was a hell of a game because Florida just threw it every play.
Right.
Right. And so it didn't play into Alabama's hands. And that's the issue that Kirby's going to have because Kirby doesn't want to throw it every play.
Well, Kirby also, as you said, and I like Curbs. I was rooting for Curbs because I have more relationship with Kirby than I don't even know Saban. I've never met him before. But it reminded me a lot, the Florida SEC title game reminded me of the boxing match that I watched yesterday. Cruz versus Tank Davis. Cruz took the fight like last minute. The guy who and Tank is a really, really good. They was going, Cruz went at him. It's like the first, nobody, because Tank, now he broke his left hand, but he's called Tank for a reason. And it's scary because there are men walking around this planet who are built like 6th graders that will kill you.
Yeah.
And it was 2 of them going at and Cruz is Mexican, and he was just taking everything, like every stereotypical Mexican boxer. So I say that to say that's what Florida came in with nothing to lose. Cruz had nothing to lose. All he could do is if I go out there and this guy knocks me out, he's supposed to knock me out. Yeah. But if I go in there and I give a good showing, I might be able to beat him, which he came damn near close. Or at worst, if I lose to these cards, everybody's going to demand a rematch or I'm going to get another money day. So Georgia coming in like everybody else, like they feel like they have a skill set. They start punching, but all of a sudden that champ punches them back. Yep. And now instead of being nothing to lose, you're like, oh, whoa, this isn't what was on the paper. And you panic. And unfortunately, it starts getting away from you. And man, again, what we saw with the wide receivers at Bama, it's like when Saban switched the game up, he switched the game up.
That dude, Jameson Williams,
was scooting.
Ooh. Goodness gracious. I mean, I hope for that young man's future that the Jags do not draft him. Because he's got talent.
He does. Jags know how to mess up a wet dream. I can tell you that. I tell you the most, man. They can mess up a good. But that's so we gotta. Let's talk about
ABC
skill.
real quick. ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. Make sure you get to ABC. I gotta take a. I'm drinking too much. Drinking way too much,
the way you've been talking, you've been going ham.
I'm drinking too much, and it's like I don't know why either. I don't know if it just started when we started moving because we were in here painting.
Yeah, it's the holiday season too. It's like you get frustrated about some stuff when you get like not bad frustrated, but like let me just take a little edge. Oh, you've worked hard. Let me reward myself with a taste. Like I get it.
And then a taste turns into
a bottle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I still haven't broke open the good stuff either in there. I don't know what I'm waiting on, but get to ABC because obviously I have been. Get over there, get you some of the good stuff. It is the holiday season. You got people come over to the house. Like James said, you're probably stressed out a little bit because these prices ain't no joke on everything right now. Like you can blow through 500 in a heartbeat now. It's insane. So take the edge off if you want to.
Are you finding yourself not being able to find what you want though?
We haven't really even looked that much.
I mean,
are you?
No, everything.
I think as long as it's not like food, you're fine.
Yeah, or like the only thing I'm finding I have a hard time, but even then, like people, I didn't realize how much my shoe because I just get them when I want them. My shoe collection has grown, but like that's the only thing that's hard. But that's not a shipping problem.
No, that's a demand.
That's a demand problem. But nah,
I mean, the only thing like if you go to food at the grocery store, that's what sucks right now. It's like I want this. Oh, we don't have that, so you have to get this. And now they're doing the chicken wing thing with chicken tenders, which I don't understand. How do you fix the wing issue, but now the tender issue is the issue? Like, I don't understand. I feel like the chicken industry is pulling our leg here.
Here's the chicken. I read the article. At first, I was upset. Then but then I thought about it, like how chicken tenders ain't nothing but boneless chicken breast sliced up, breaded, and fried. How do you run out of that? I think it's like they just can't meet the demand of like Tyson, the kid, but like you can go make chicken breast ain't running out. They're just running out of the way to preserve it and all those other things. So like you can go get tenders from a restaurant. They just
America is a chicken country apparently.
Yeah, like, we're not like this.
I thought we were red meat, but apparently it's chicken.
No, red meat like it's. You can get your steak.
Has there been red meat shortage?
No, but like think about how often like people talk like they can eat steak every day.
Yeah,
but they don't.
That's true.
You can legit, and it's a little heavy on your system.
Yeah,
but you can eat some chicken like
almost every meal,
quite often.
Yeah.
But shout out, congratulations! I'm gonna give you some bumps for finally trying the restaurant down the street.
Oh, jeez!
I don't want to hear anything. Like I scoff at you peasants. Who are talking about you can't get wings. I can get wings whenever I want to for a good price.
Let me tell you,
you got it on Saturday
wings.
Too.
Oh yeah,
which is amazing.
I called them and I was like, I need 50 wings, and they're like, okay, we haven't done 15 minutes. I'm like, no. I said 50 wings. They're like, yeah, but you done in 15 minutes. And at that point, I'm like,
permission to be stereotypical.
Yeah, go ahead.
So. Have you ever had wings from like a Chinese food restaurant?
No.
Okay.
No.
It doesn't matter what you order from a Chinese food restaurant. How much or how little. It's going to take 15 minutes.
Oh, okay. So you're suggesting.
So you could have said they're Asian. They're owned by Asians.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, they're serious. You could have ordered 1,500 wings.
Been 15 minutes.
It would have been 15 minutes no matter, or 5. It was going to be 15 minutes no matter.
So I ordered 50 wings. We ordered fries. We ordered hush puppies.
Oh, I've never had their hush
puppies.
A good hush puppy is like, you don't go around just saying, damn, I need some hush puppies. But like, if you get a good hush puppy.
I saw it on the menu. I'm like, I'm going to order some hush puppies.
It was solid.
Unfreaking real. The whole thing. Unreal. I ate
what kind of, you got buffalo? I bet you take that hush puppy. And dip it in a little bit of that buffalo sauce.
And the way that they put it in the platter, like you could do that.
Yeah. They sauce it up.
Oh,
now.
yes.
They sauce it now. Like,
yeah, and I asked the guy, I'm like, do you need to know mild, medium, hot? And he's like, no, we just have one.
No, it's buffalo.
And
sometimes buffaloes, It's never been
it's
mild.
It's perfect.
It's never been like, oh man, this ain't got nothing.
What's the name of the place we're talking about? Them
Big Crab.
Yeah, Big Crab on Bay Meadows.
It's two of them.
They don't pay us, by the way.
But I don't know where the other one. No, this is the one I go to all the time. When I went there on accident on a Saturday. Remember when I said Trey was like, I want some crabs.
Mm-hmm.
Went and got some crabs and saw, hey, doesn't make sense. But this is America. Who says you can't have snow crab legs and chicken wings at the same time? Give me the 10. I say it's $8. Oh, told me it was a shortage. Everybody's cracking jack at the price. Let me see. These wings are going to be janky, I bet. Really nice size wings.
Oh, dude.
And I said, give me the lemon pepper and toss it in buffalo. I got to talk to them a little bit, say it 3 or 4 times for them to understand it. But once they get it, oh, it's immaculate.
Dude,
it's
a top
amazing.
5 wing. It's a top 5 wing I've ever had.
That buffalo sauce has got to be house.
I mean,
or if it's not, I need to know where to buy it.
Angie picked him up, walked in, and right when I opened the top, I was just like, "Oh, it is."
It's like you can do
this thing here.
I'm surprised they don't do commercials because, like, when you open it, it's like what you would expect a wing commercial to look like.
Oh, no doubt.
It's like
the presentation was gorgeous. Yes, I mean, one bite, and I after the first bite is when I tweeted that.
Yep. And you know what it made me do?
Go get them.
Made me go get some. I was like, damn, I'm about to go get me some of these wings.
Yeah, and there's a 0% chance they're ever going to sponsor us because they're packed all the time.
Yeah, they don't need that.
No, they don't need this. But
that's what I was telling you. I got mad. I'm mad, but I wasn't because they charge you the fee, the service fee.
Yeah.
But
they can charge me whatever they want.
Wings are so good. It is still cheaper than everybody else.
They could tell me that that for 10 wings it's $20, and I'm still going to buy them.
It's pretty damn good wing, man.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about that. Real quick, let's just get on the Jags real quick, and then we'll move on because we got a lot to talk about with coaching. Whole lot to talk about with coaching. Yesterday, because the game was at 4:00, I got to watch the whole thing.
Poor you.
Yeah, and that's where I'm going. About the middle of the third quarter, I'm sitting here like thinking, man, you know what? I don't make enough money doing these segments at 10:10 to force me to watch all this. I don't. I like it is not worth. And I respect Jag fans for this because there's Jag fans that spend their money to go to the games, Jag fans that spent their money to go to LA knowing that there was going to be a butt whooping. And y'all sit there and y'all watch the whole game. Hats off to you, man, because that is the worst brand of football that I think I have ever seen on any level. I would rather watch Army Navy every day than to watch Jags versus anybody.
The most exciting thing that happened in that game for me was when they lined Malcolm Brown up in the backfield and they scored a touchdown. They used the fullback, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Outside of that, it's why I made the comment. I made the comment a lot, and people just jumped on me until they realized, like, I'm like, guys, I get it. I don't want that happening in Trevor. I don't think it was right. But I'm like, we got a lot of other issues to be worried about than the tap. Then he slammed it. He dribbled his head into the ground.
Oh, you're talking about that. Oh, okay.
I'm like, we got a lot of other issues because I saw
there's a lot of things that you could go with Trevor. I didn't know where you were going with there.
Right, but I'm watching. What sums it up, and it's actually the picture that if you were waiting for us to come in, it's the picture that I saved for our broadcast to them. But you only see 3. There's literally 4 linemen in a Rams defensive lineman looking like they're talking while Trevor's running for his life with 3 Rams defenders chasing him. Like, I'm starting to forget Jalen. I'm starting to question, do they like him? Because if they did, it's not about, you can't be that bad.
Yeah, you can.
I'm with Aaron Donald.
They are every week.
He's the best, but damn, dude, like at least pinch him, do something, trip him. Like I would love to. I saw it somewhere. I don't know what game it was, but like they got a tripping penalty got called. That would make me feel better because I'm like, okay, at least you didn't just watch the guy go get destroyed.
I don't even. I'm gonna admit when I was wrong. And I 2 weeks ago, I wouldn't have admitted this. Now I'm going to admit it. I was wrong about Urban Meyer. He's terrible. He's awful. Like the whole James Robinson thing to me is wild.
It's everybody sees it.
And you don't admit it again? You go in the press conference again and be like, he was hurt. No, he wasn't.
You put him in the last drive.
They showed him on the sideline sitting there, just arms. You didn't bring him in a tent. Nobody was working on him. Like back-to-back weeks, he fumbles. You sat him 16 plays and 20 plays. By the way, this is how bad the offense is. I saw this right before you got here. Let me see. I screenshotted it. How to get to my screenshots right here. The CBS or Jacksonville Jaguar on CBS Sports Player of the Game. Carlos Hyde, 9 carries, 24 yards. That is your offensive player of the game.
Oh,
that's how bad you
scored
are.
the only touchdown too.
Yes, he fumbled. He fumbled and he didn't get sit. He sat one play.
Like, everybody put it on. Well, they put it on Trevor. They said it was a bad exchange.
No, he fumbled after that.
Another one after that?
Yes. No, there was that fumble, and then he fumbled one that went like 10 yards forward.
And then that was the one that OBJ dunked on. Oh boy. Can I ask, like, and I made this comment, and somebody put, well, he's one of the best receivers, and I joked about this pilgrim on pilgrim violence must stop with Cooper Kupp. Like, why would you put Wingard in one? Why would you put Wingard? Two, why would you put Wingard in the situation where he has to guard, where he has to have Cooper Kupp?
I mean, I see what you're saying, but to be fair, they don't have anybody in guard Cooper Kupp.
Right, but like,
nobody.
Cooper Kupp is in the position right now where he can do what Larry Bird did in the NBA, where he would say it's disrespectful to put a white person on me. You give me your best black player.
Dude,
like you give me like Cooper Kupp, you got to look at him and just be like,
I'm not sure there's
not. Like Cooper Kupp, when he wants to get open, he gets.
I was going to say, I don't think there's 5 receivers I would take ahead of Cooper Kupp right now.
I'm not, unless you just want a young receiver. I'm not. If you gave me the option to get Cooper Kupp and who else, that's the guy. That's the number one guy. He's the best receiver in the league right now.
The catches he made yesterday, unbelievable.
Just the acceleration. At first, you're kind of like, okay, good. We got him. We got him calm, and then all of a sudden, he just explodes. I think the thing that holds them back is Matthew Stafford. Yeah, is the worst. He's the worst person on their offense right now.
By the way, did you listen to the game? Did you hear the announcers
and how Mark Sanchez
has an all-out love affair for Matt Stafford?
He's like, yeah, you see, OBJ's got to get on the same page. He's like, he launched the shit out of bounds. No, he doesn't. Now there is one though. I will say, and I ain't mad at him.
Oh yeah.
He beat the safety in the end zone. Them arms got a little alligator-ish, and I ain't mad at him, but a different era OBJ goes up and makes that catch.
It's just, it's laughable now for the Jags. They're the worst team in the NFL again. I know that they're not record-wise, but they are. Nothing's competitive. Everything's hard. It's like, what did Trevor have at halftime? Like 60 yards?
If that.
I don't understand.
It was a 13-7 game that felt like we were down by 4 scores.
There was never a chance.
And it's just,
the offense is miserable. Trevor's going down the crapper right now, and it's like, how do you even? Because everybody keeps saying, "Is Trevor okay?" No, he's not okay.
I had to text you, as I'm like, dude, like, is he always throwing it like that? Like, because he was like, I only know because I'm check down shorty. Mm-hmm. I'm getting the ball on checkdowns. Mm-hmm. You ain't got a gun at us, man.
He's frustrated, bro.
Like, we're open, bro. We're open. Like, just get the ball to us. Like, you ain't got to throw it. You're not throwing it 50 yards down the field. And Trevor's in that thing just zooming it. Like, how could O'Shaughnessy drop that? Bitch, it came in 100 miles per hour. He's 5 yards from him. You catch it.
Trevor's like, y'all been dropping balls all year. I'm going to knock your teeth out.
He's like, you're going to catch it in self-defense.
Yeah.
That's the only way. It's just, I'm sitting here like, bro, like calm down, Trevor.
I mean, I think we've all done things in our life that when you get there, like day after day, it just keeps failing. And you're like, man, I don't want to be here. So your performance goes down. Yeah, that's where Trevor's at, man. Like, as frustrating as it is to watch, do you understand how frustrating it's got to be to play?
Facts. Like, my whole thing with it is, you had so many. Like, I'm not saying it would have changed you winning, right? More games. What would it have hurt to go take a stab at OBJ? I'm sure he wasn't coming here.
Yeah, he wasn't coming.
But my point is like, did we even just throw money at him?
Yeah.
Like, we need upgrades at wide receiver. You know, then what really puzzles me is you draft all these guys. I question damn near every one of them but Trevor. One guy he can't play, he's hurt. But your line stinks. Why isn't Walker Little getting more reps? Why aren't more of your guys like Winger's not that good? Why aren't you fail with your people?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're sitting here letting there aren't any redshirt seasons in the NFL, man. You can't get them seasoned better. The only way to get better is to play.
Yeah.
And you're not even playing them. You're not failing your way.
They may not know there's not a redshirt season.
That's what I'm, and that's the part where I put nothing past them. This is what I said.
Urban's looking at this like he's still got 4 years of eligibility.
I said this when he was bowling balling the girl at his restaurant. This man don't want to be here, man. Like don't tell Gene. Don't tell Hayes. Don't tell those guys aren't going to believe you anyway. Inbox me, Herb. Let me know what page we're on, and I can help you. If you don't want to be here, bro, I will kind of like give the vibes that
come hang at
he's
Goodfellas
trying to get.
Us.
Yeah. Dude,
we'll have a camera running. We'll have a camera running. If you want to get out of this, we can get you out.
Might as well, dude. I will set it up. We will get you going.
Yeah.
But like right now, it is hard. It's baffling. Like before, the joke was how many different ways.
Go with a blonde this time, though.
We'll switch it up, man.
That's so equal opportunity. Yeah, that's so.
No, because I want people to be truly. Typical. No, I want them to be really outraged. That didn't get people outraged enough. We're going like you've been out east before when you first got here. We're gonna go hang out with some real people, and then they'll be like, "Oh, I can't believe Herbs did that." We want to show. Well, you also want to show that you just like women. Doesn't matter. You just like pretty women,
right?
But my point is that like it's so hard to say we stink in a different way every week. But I will say this: it's not for you not trying, Herbs. It is not for you. You guys are creative with it. You guys are really creative at being bad.
It's really bad. Hey, go ahead and get to executive because I need you to read this executive because I forgot to get something real quick. So I need you to just tell people about executive because I have the perfect person for this.
Okay,
go.
Executive Northeast Florida Executive Health Med Spa. Start your new year. Oh, wait a minute. Is he? How I normally read it is get your wife the gift of you or get yourself somebody to gift to you. New and improved. No need to start 2022 in 2022. Started in 21 and let's keep things moving forward. They doctor on call. You kind of go in and get your blood work done, whatever you need for them. They'll give you an itemized plan to make sure that you're the best you available. And I have no idea where else he's at. Oh, okay. All right.
This man.
Oh, okay. Now it makes sense.
Yes.
Now it makes sense. Let's see the Eagles.
Fly, Eagles, fly. Because Gardner needs to be a spokesman.
For 6 points?
For Northeast Florida Executive Health and Med Spa. I thought about this yesterday. I don't know what their bankroll looks like right now. But what better spokesman for just being like a man's man than freaking Gardner Minshew right now? Like hats off to Gardner. And I'm not suggesting, let's just get this out of the way, disclaimer, I'm not suggesting that he should be here ahead of Trevor. I'm not suggesting that. Y'all just chill for a second. But my man went to Philly, sat there for how many weeks?
Well, damn near the whole season.
Pretty, but I don't know what week we're in. That's what I'm saying.
We're 2-10, right?
Yeah, so we're in week like 12 or 13.
Yeah. Yeah, because this would normally be the end of.
Oh God, I wish. Sat there for 13 weeks. Gets his name called, and all he does is complete his first 13 for 2 touchdowns. Walks in there with a Tom Cruise Top Gun bomber jacket because they're playing the Jets.
Yeah, I liked it.
Flexes on him, goes out. Then after the game, Philly is in full Minshew mania. I've talked to a couple people today from up there.
They're gonna love him.
Now I feel sorry for Jalen Hurts. The first pick he throws.
Boo.
Oh, dude. After the game, in the middle of a pandemic, going around there slapping hands with the fans, doing all the stuff he did here. Like, if you If you don't like the dude, what is wrong with you? Like, that is literally in every guy who's getting a chance to play football. We heard the stories about him breaking his hands to play more football, all that kind of stuff. This is a dude that just loves the game of football, living his dream.
And don't get to know him more, like, personally, like, because not that he's a bad person. It's just the off the field, the mystique part is way cooler than, like, from some of the other stuff that I've heard, which is none of it's bad, but it's just like, all right, this dude just seems like he looks like him and his dad. They look like rednecks that just happen to be good in football.
They are. That's exactly what it is.
So, but
and they don't. And the thing about it is they don't run from that.
And this is somebody put. I forgot who it was. Why does it feel like the football gods have cursed Jacksonville? And I get it, kind of why you can say that, because, like, it seems like everybody that leaves either wins the Super Bowl, has some kind of success. Not everybody, but like some big guys that leave. But I put up, because it was a 1:00 game and I was doing some other things, and I'm just half skimming the ESPN report. And I'm looking, I'm like, damn, Philly going toe to toe. Okay, cool. Let me look at what's good. I said, is Gardner really 8 for 8 right now? For 2 touchdowns? Oh, well, he underthrew him. It's like, but he's 8 for 8 for 2 touchdowns right now. We're overthrowing and throwing, and it can't score on the first drive. I'm just like, it is. The Jags fans are like, oh, well, yeah, he wasn't really that impressive. At one point, he was like 14 for 15.
He went 20 for 25.
That's freaking impressive. I don't care.
20 for 25.
Like, and then I watched the first touchdown, the underthrow. It was a perfect throw.
Right.
If he would have let the guy, it would have been an interception, or he would have got decapitated.
Yep.
Like, he's not throwing guys in the infirmary like Trevor is right now. My point, just the reason why we can't be successful is when people leave, we can't just be like, all right, you're gone.
I thought there was a large portion of people, though, that were really happy for Gardner.
Okay, because all I saw that could just be because all I saw was, I know when I made the comment, I made the comments that were made under my, let's preface.
Well, and that could be because I work with Gardner. That could be the people who were talking to me too. Like, they're not going to DM me and be like, F Gardner. You know what I mean? They're
no. Yeah, you're right.
Maybe yours is more representative, but it seemed like a lot of people were super happy. So had to bring it up. It's my dude, man. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with Jalen Hurts. By the way, Jag fans, if Gardner plays more than 50% of the snaps in 3 games, that draft pick goes to a 5th rounder instead of a 6th rounder. So as Jag fans, you want Jalen to stay out the next couple games,
because then we'll get another player that we won't play.
Well, that's true.
In a game, like, so it's just like
we'll get another player that'll be decent, and we'll let him go after his 3rd year, like James Robinson.
And that's just, I just wish somebody could explain it. And I wish somebody had the balls to not just question them.
They did yesterday.
Did they press him on it?
They did. Like, they did. Like,
so somebody said, Herbs, how are you the head coach and consistently don't know who's going out on the field?
So they kind of, I mean, as professionally as you can, they tried to put him in the corner, and he just lied his way out of it. And what are you going to do in that? What are you going to say? You liar! Like, you can't do that. I mean, what do you do? Throw a shoe at him?
I think that's the point. I think we need to get the guys, the Duval heroes.
Well,
they need to go question.
They need to sit down.
They need to be able to.
We will open this up.
Yeah, they need to go in and be like, they just gotta, because you ain't gonna run our test, them. Like, you gonna give them straight answers, man.
I want to get to the coaching search, but I want to do it this way. Let's go ahead and get to Green Acres, because I've got a 8 o'clock with the coaching search. I got 2.
Nice.
Okay. Green Acres, go there. Like, if you haven't gotten your Christmas gift, go there. Go there. If the man in your life, if you don't know what to get him, I would bet you that he wants something from Green Acres.
Knife, bow and arrow, Glock, safe,
boots,
cooler.
Yeah, there's something there for you.
There is a cooler there.
You walk in with a gift certificate from Green Acres.
I'm sure they'll be. They're still doing concealed weapons classes. Sundays, the next 2 Sundays, they'll be open from 12 to 4. So that you can go in and get some of that Christmas shopping if you need that. Yes, normally they're closed, but
go home from church,
check them out. Go scope something out. One thing they have that a lot of people don't is ammo. And everybody wants ammo. So
nothing says amen like going to get some ammo.
Yep.
And they got the barbecue place right there for Sunday dinner.
I think he's open. I'll be there tomorrow, so I'm gonna get some barbecue tomorrow.
My first hate o'clock is people who are tweeting how wrong it is that Miami has treated Manny Diaz this way. Y'all don't need to feel sorry for Manny Diaz. There's this thing in life called karma. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And
I get you. I like it.
Yeah, and that's all this is just karma. I mean, this is the same guy who took a temple job for a week, 12 days, something like that, and left them to go to Miami. So don't feel bad for him. He's getting it. It's the same guy that talked crap about me when he was first hired. He's getting what he deserves.
That's what this is about. This is the same guy who gave out. I get what you're saying. The entire way he started it was about disrespect. Wow. This is a hellacious, humbling experience for him this whole season. Because and I told Miami fans this. Miami fans said I'm just a hater. I'm like, all in all, man, he's a nice guy. Like, he's not Suge Knight. Like what you guys are trying to make him. Oh, he went to the Nike Coach of the Year clinic and they ran up on it. I'm like, one, they're in Adidas school, so he couldn't go speak at the Nike Coach. He couldn't even go, really. So they posted up, did something. They gave out like wine coolers and stuff to coaches that when you go to this clinic, you're drinking. Like, you're not just like drinking. And they spun a narrative to make him seem, because you're clamoring for something that the Miami hasn't been in a long time. You had a brief moment of it when Ponzi Scheme Boy had you guys coming and doing stuff, but it still wasn't anywhere near what the Leon Searcy guys in the 80s, or even what Mario was a part of when he was Mario Cristobal was.
It will never be back to that because that doesn't exist anymore.
It's
anywhere.
It's more cameras. You'll go to jail, and
it's against the rules.
It's against the rules. It's just a different time. But I do what you're saying is correct. Like, I get it. His relationship with some of the former players wasn't the greatest. I.e., a couple of them having 5-star elite kids that fans missed out on. I guess if it wasn't Manny, I would kind of feel a little bit. But
absolutely.
But you made your bed. You laid in it. And I think the problem,
if FSU did this to Mike Norvell, who was like one of the nicest guys, loyal guy, I'd be like, dude, bump you, FSU.
What I tell people is, even with all of this stuff going back and forth, it's not Mike Norvell's fault that Willie Taggart was fired. It's Willie Taggart's fault that he was fired for not living up to expectations. Mike Norvell did absolutely nothing but win at Memphis and take a job. So he deserves to be. Now, I think if you're anybody else like actively pursuing another coach and the amount of leaks that got out with it, while that coach, like, to me personally, like, people say if he resigned, he would, like, I'm sure he would have been able to get his money. There would have been some kind of cause. Because, like,
man, it's easy for people to say that, but
I'm saying that. I don't know, but what I'm saying
no. I'm saying it's easy for people to say, man, if that were happening to me, I'd quit. No, you wouldn't.
No. I'm saying, but like, I'm like, man, damn, that's like I will say it is disrespectful. But like you said, when you started it disrespectfully, part of the reason, things that aren't talked about enough. Part of the reason why he has a job is because he moved in on somebody who currently had a job. Technically one of your mentors in Mark Richt, and you left because he was still there. And you felt like you should have been getting a shot, or you were being stagnated, and then the class folded, and then they tried to bring you back to keep the class intact, when you probably should have stayed at Temple, learn a little on the job training there, as opposed to on the job training at a prestigious university in Miami. But it is what it is. I don't care.
There's karma, and there's like, I'll give you a consequences example. Like, I dip all the time. I always have a dip in my mouth. If it ever happens to where all of a sudden I have mouth cancer, it'll stink, but don't feel sorry for me. Don't be like, oh, how did that happen? I know how it happened.
Right.
It's a choice I made. Like, I know what's going on. When you treat people the way Manny treated people, when you act the way you act. You can't come back and go, well, I feel sorry for him or this isn't fair. No, you get what you are. Mm-hmm. Like if you're a person that and bad things keep happening to you, you may just be a shitty person.
That's true.
Like that may just be what it is. That, and then my second one, and then we'll get to this coaching search. I'm not going to give names because I don't want to do that. There's a coach that's bringing kids on official visits, knowing he's going to take another job, and he's bringing them on those official visits to sell them on the new place.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Head coach or an assistant?
Not
coach?
A head coach.
Oh, okay.
Not a head coach.
Gotcha.
Yeah, man. Like, come on, guys. Come on. Now, we talked last week about the Lincoln Riley thing and going to USC and, and that bothered me. But that didn't bother, none of it, I shouldn't say bothered me because I'm not going to lose sleep over any of it. It was wrong, I thought, the way that they all decommitted, bam, right away. Like, it let me know that it had been discussed. But when you're accepting a paycheck from a school still, and you are using that school's money to bring recruits to you, and then telling them, hey, look, this time next week I'm going to be somewhere else, go take an official there. That's wrong.
Isn't that's what happened at Florida with their DB coach when he went to Georgia.
Yes.
And with Elam.
Yep.
And he tried to get Elam to come to Georgia.
Yep. Yeah. So
I don't think he's with the Georgia now anymore, right?
No, he's a DC at like a MAC school or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I just like, I feel like we're the only show that consistently talks real about what's going on in the coaching ranks at college football. Some good, some bad, but we're the only one that's breaking down. Don't let them tell you that they're going to be a father figure and explain it.
A lot of people like that.
We're the ones that give you gold like this, so that when these young men are approached by these older men and said, I want to be your moral compass, you just kind of know what you're getting into. It's really education is all it is.
It's business, man.
You don't want them to be your moral compass.
You don't want them to be like, you damn sure don't want them to be your moral compass. You don't want to really even not snitching. Like some of these guys aren't legit good people. But yeah, that's awful, man. Like that's just disrespectful all around, man.
No, it's terrible.
I hope it's nobody I know.
It's terrible morals.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and it's like I'll tell you off air.
Yeah, I want to know off air.
Yeah, I'll tell you off air. It's just it's Bush League, man. That's the kind of stuff that tells you who somebody is as a person,
right?
Like that's terrible. So now let's get to Mario Cristobal. Let's get to Billy Napier. Mm-hmm. I don't have an opinion on either of them because just like I did with Norvell, and just like I did with most guys, I want to see what it looks like when they get there. Not like Captain Obvious wins and losses. Mm-hmm. Like I want to see the energy they're putting out. I want to see who they hire. I want to see Florida and Miami both for this part. The schools have done their parts.
Yes.
They have given resources, not just in the head coaching hire, but the coaching pools. I don't know what Miami's is, but Florida's coaching pool now stacks up with everybody in the country, all the best ones.
$7.5 million for all, and with another $500,000 dedicated to off-field staff.
I thought it was more than that.
What was it?
7.5 million.
7.5 million
for your 10.
Yeah. So like if you put it in perspective, before they were at 5.5.
Right.
So that gives you, right now you can give your coordinators, you can give your top coordinator 2. And maybe your other coordinator that you feel strongly about, if he's up and coming, he's bringing most of his G5 guys. You give them $1 million. And now your lowest paid guy should be close to that $500,000 mark. That's a hell of a pay bump for a lot of guys.
I'm looking this up because they released,
or was it $1 million for off the field?
I think it was more than that.
So even then, like this still significant for your off the field. One of my friends who's an off the field guy was about 96 with incentives built in, because you can give him more stuff.
Here you go. This is in his contract. Coach
you
shall have
right?
access to a salary pool of 7.5 annually for 10 full-time assistant football coaches. Coach shall also have access to a salary pool of $5 million annually for other football support staff members.
Jeez.
Yeah. If it's good and bad, because it's good because they're giving him everything that somebody would want. They're playing with the big boys.
I'm gonna be honest. This is what
it's
I like.
Bad because it's only gonna be his fault if this don't work.
Which is why I like it.
Yep.
And I like the position that Florida State's in all this. Now you know what the level of play. You ain't got to pay Mike.
That's very true.
You don't have, like, right now, for you to be able to match or get close to what they're doing, you don't have to give 7.5 mil for off the field, because you got some other stuff, but you could bump it up. You could bump it up significantly, and it's not far off from where you're at. You're about 5 million no matter what. So, like, bump it up $1 million. Give yourself 2 million over the course of the next few years. The off-field support staff, which has been something that I've been bitching about for years. Now you see that your rivals are taking, and Miami's going to have a similar course of action.
But Miami don't have to disclose theirs.
Right.
They're private.
Right. It's private. But they also, here's what you also know what Miami has. Now, before it was illegal, this one I believe is going to lead down to another 30 for 30 when it's all said and done. But they had what was the Ponzi scheme guy's name? I can't think of it. Yeah, Nevin Shapiro. Yeah. Nevin Shapiro, but he was behind the scenes. This guy, I think is it Ruiz? Another Cuban with a really third cousin twice removed related to Cristobal. Their family's billionaires, Cuban billionaires, in the medical industry, hospital, have a not-for-profit hospital that they're going to be taking a slice of their funds to make sure that things go the way that they go. With PPP and all this other stuff, the story doesn't end well, but who cares if it gives you – ask LSU if they care about stealing from children's hospitals as long as it gets you a national championship. What it's showing is that, hey, everybody else ready to play ball.
Yep.
You either going to get on board and
point.
Figure it out, or you're not going to get on board.
You can't expect to.
And now the athletic director that Miami's hiring, and I see why he was unnecessary in the hiring of the coach. He didn't hire Dabo. Dabo was already there. But what he was instrumental in was the building of the football-only facility, raising the funds, locating and doing these different things, which is partially why Florida State's going after the Louisville athletic director. It's nothing to do with hiring a head coach. You already have your guy. What you need is, with Mike Alford, is another fundraiser that specializes or that has connections and relationships with other money people that have no real ties to your university. Because that's the only way you're going to get new money. Because if you had the opportunity to get that money, if that money was already there, it would have already been spent. Yeah. Or you have to find somebody who all of a sudden says, I'm tired of this. And the Spanx lady is the only person that Florida State has, and she could give a crap about athletics right now. So I'm not afraid of Billy Napier per se, or Mario Cristobal per se. I am afraid of the fiscal commitment that's put behind them, which if you don't match that, whether you win or you lose, you have to at least put gloves on to get in the ring. If you don't do that, you're not matching that, and you're not even giving yourself a chance to be successful.
And you go back to what I said a few weeks ago about Florida and Georgia, Florida not being able to compete with Georgia on the recruiting trail. Now they're making the investments to do that. When I said that, everybody went crazy, but it was things like this. It was things like that support staff. It was things like not the 10, but the team behind the 10 and what they're able to do, what they're able to put together, the money they have access to without having to add to a budget. And it also goes, I was told this by somebody pretty close to the program. When you hire a coach, like, he's the one that dictates all this, and you really can tell what's important to him. If somebody comes in saying, I'm only taking this job if I have a recruiting budget that matches or exceeds Alabama and Georgia, then they're going to go recruit. If you hire a coach that says, yeah, I'm cool with 1.3, they don't care anything about recruiting. Right. So in our group text last night, I was saying, I've talked to enough people around that has told me if Billy Napier does nothing else, he's going to recruit.
Let me tell you this, and this is why I don't mind. And I'm not suggesting Billy's doing this. I'm not suggesting any coach does this. I'm just talking about what I would want to do to make sure that James Coleman, is successful at his job. Okay. If I have worked a Power 5 job, and the most I've ever made is $175,000. And now I'm used to making $175,000. If you come and give me $500,000 to do the same job, and now I'm at a bigger school with a bigger brand, watch me get a top one, at least one top player in that position every year.
Yep.
There's nobody that can tell me that I can't walk around with $50,000 in petty cash.
Your $50,000
if I'm making $500,000,
a $450,000. Yeah.
Exactly. So I will bump my way of living around up. Trust. But I also know I'm going to have a spending card that's going to give me good hotels.
If you get the right one,
stuff.
If you get the right one, you take that $50,000 investment is going to take you to $1 million.
Oh, without a doubt. I get enough of those.
Yep.
That's the reality is I'm sitting here. I'm not suggesting, I'm going back to full. I'm not suggesting that Adam Fuller is on Brent Venables' level as far as defensive coordinator. What I am suggesting is that guys are in position to make plays. When guys are in position to make plays and they don't make plays, that tells me I don't have guys. Now, when I look at what Kirby has, Kirby has guys that are in position to make plays no matter what. Just sometimes they get out-catted by Alabama, but it doesn't happen often.
Well, that's the only time.
That's the only time. But I'm saying, I'm going to get – you could question if I could coach running back. Like, that's what I would. If I could coach running backs or not. But you know what you can't question? Is if I got guys that can play running back.
Right.
I'm going to look at the kids that I like. I like this kid. This kid is a 5-star back. I'm going to get that kid, especially if he's in California, that's tough. But if he's in my backyard, best believe that kid is coming here.
It's going to be interesting, man. I don't think with the way the transfer portal is, I don't think anybody throws up like a flurry of commits. Like you're going to have some guys, especially with Cristobal because he's coming from Oregon.
Right.
Probably going to have some guys follow him to Miami.
Same thing that happened with Tiger.
Right. That's going to happen. But it's not like the old school where all of a sudden they're going to 15 new commits because your class size stays the same whether you're taking new guys or transfer portal guys.
You're going to see, you're seeing the two approaches. So Billy Napier has some guys that are interested in Florida, but he talks about, I want to go see what I got.
Yeah.
And then we're going to assess what I got in a heavy portal.
Well, he said 18.
18
max is what he's going to sign.
Right. So, but where's, I don't even know where Florida's at.
Like 13.
Okay. So they're not far off. Miami is far off. Like at one point they only had 2 commits not too long ago. Now you got Wesley Bisson. Yeah. Wesley I think they may be up to 4 right now. And this is where the difference is. Billy Napier coming from G5.
That's right. Yep.
And Mario coming from a Power 5 that had a lot of that still had heavy hands in the South.
He's already got the relationship.
Right. So like now all of a sudden, Earl Little's top 3 was Florida State, Alabama, I believe, and Oregon. With people saying Alabama may or may not be as interested. All of a sudden, you bring him to Miami.
Yep.
Dad went to Miami. He was already recruiting you at Oregon. It's a no-brainer to get to now that you're in that.
Which Billy Napier doesn't have that.
Yeah, he doesn't have. That's what I mean. Naturally, he doesn't have that. But Mario, I got 10 kids that are in this area that I know for a fact if I brought them in, are going to do what I would have wanted them to do in Oregon. They're going to do here. Now, it just all depends on who he hires as his OC and his support staff moving forward. But I can clearly see that Cristobal wants the guys that that. But what's really strange in this is, and I get Oregon fans, they're mad again. They call him Cuban Taggart and message boards and things like that. This is the second time this has happened to you. Like, your arrogance is done.
Yeah.
And it's what's wild is this happened to you with the most powerful man in sports, in Phil Knight, as your now new money. Phil Knight's a little bit older money, but you got out bullied by a billionaire in Miami when your guy could legit. Like he could just match with Nike stock what he's getting paid.
And he already had the facilities.
Right.
There's no promise of facilities.
And they're building more.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's wild.
And it's so crazy that none of the stuff, like Phil basically fronts all of the money. I know let's say he's not worth Say he's not worth $8 million. I think it's 10 years, $8 million a year is what is being reported. Say he's not worth that. This is branding, man. Like, he obviously was getting you good enough because you weren't firing him, and you wanted
your feelings hurt that he left.
Yeah, and you entertained giving him an extension. I don't understand. This isn't a Taggart thing where you matched what Taggart wanted, and Taggart still just left. This is a situation where you let this guy just walk and you refuse to match what he wanted. And now you'll go get maybe a Chip Kelly again. Maybe I think you should go for Harsons, because stop going for guys from the South. Yeah. Get you a guy from the West Coast that wants to be out there. But will it ever really be the same? Because USC went and hired a rock star.
Yep.
And you're not going to be able to match that.
There's something there, because you lost two coaches, not just to the state of Florida, but you lost two coaches who went to programs with promises to build facilities, not already existing.
Yep.
I mean, and one program still hasn't done it. I mean,
with promises to have a commitment, a fiscal commitment that you already have. What is it in the building? Like, you got to go look at yourself.
There's something there.
Yeah.
Because both of us have said in both scenarios, there's no way I'd leave Oregon. Like, there's got to be something else going on there that the average fan doesn't see, or we don't see, or anybody sees. Because you just don't leave a top 10 program who has everything, including cash, to go down to Florida State, who doesn't have a football-only facility, or Miami, who has an 80-yard indoor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, with that just doesn't happen.
With no campus.
With no campus stadium.
And with a guy promising you to do something that's a pie in the sky idea, and even if it happens, it's still inadequate. Like, you see what they're talking, a 50,000, like, ain't nothing sexy about a 50,000 seat
50,000 seat stadium where a high school sits now. So you got to tear down the high school, you got to prep the land, you got to build the stadium. You're talking 6-7 years.
If they improve it.
Right.
Which they probably won't.
Right. Right. And you're coming off of one of the best facilities in America at Oregon.
Right.
It's weird. It's really, really strange, man. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, Oregon guys.
Yeah, I that's wild, real wild to me.
Because when the Mario Cristobal stuff first came up, we both were like, "There's no way Miami's going to pull him from Oregon. Look what he's got at Oregon." And sure enough, and it's not, like you said, it's not money. It's not like Oregon couldn't give him money.
And the weirdest thing is, Manny, every year Miami fans are amped, right? We back. Oh, we got Mark Richt. We back. Manny's first statement was, it's going to take it's going to take a while for us to be able to get to where we need to be at for the playoff contention. So, I mean, and I'm with you. I get it. Right. He's right. So you fired a guy that wasn't necessarily, like, the only reason he wasn't recruiting well this year was because you've been firing him all year. Yeah. You've been firing him since he didn't transform you into what you thought that first year he's there.
3 years?
This is his fourth year.
Really?
They all came at the same time. Tag, Mullen, and if anything, he was there a year. But my point is that this year you came in with, we're ACC, we got championship expectations. Mm-hmm. You fired a guy because he didn't live up to championship expectations, to hire a guy to tell you to temper your championship expectation, and you're paying him exponentially more. I don't know what world that makes sense. It's the truth.
What's Mario Cristobal's? What's the most success he's ever had as a head coach? Oregon. What was his head? He was.
He won the Pac-12. He won the FI. He's 3 games over 500. I think he's 60. No,
was there another stop between those 60?
No, he got fired from FIU, went to Alabama,
then went to Oregon.
Then went to Oregon, and then took over.
Okay,
and because here's why I'm not tempering it.
I like Mario
Cristobal. I think he's going to. I think you have every reason to be excited. Yep. But here's why a lot of FSU fans, a lot of Florida fans, a lot of other fans aren't really like, oh, okay, well, we got to wait and see. Or this is how they are. you had 2 generational talents on your roster at one time. And the most you could walk away with is a COVID year Pac-12 championship that you backdoored into. You had Justin Herbert and you had Kayvon Thibodeau at the same time.
And you had Sewell, who was the top 5 pick last year.
Sewell, you have it all this year. Granted, your quarterback stunk. I get you. Whatever. You have a defensive line that everybody says every one of those guys is going to get drafted.
Yep.
You have an NFL squad right now. It's built out there. It's built in Oregon.
Yeah.
And you couldn't win it. You got bullied by Utah twice.
Yep.
You got beat by Stanford. And you're the claim to fame that made you different than Taggart was you were going to bring a toughness that you did not have, except for every time you played the quote unquote tough teams in the Pac-12, you folded. So I would, if I were a Miami fan, outside of being excited now, the question that I would want to answer is, how do I know you're going to truly bring, like, because the similar teams, the Utah and the ACC, how do I know you're going to consistently beat Pitt? The teams that actually line up and try to run it down your throat. Like, because you couldn't, because again, you had an easy path. You had USC truly down. And even out there, all you had to do was beat USC consistently, and you were going to be in a playoff. But you left the easier path to come out here where you got to beat Florida for recruits, Florida State, Alabama, all these other, like, I don't know. Those are just the things.
No, that's fair. I do think
about.
it's the best hire they've had out of all of these recent ones. I don't even think it's close.
Even Rick, because he was on the way down.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's a guy, like, he obviously wants to be there. I said this about Billy Napier last week. Like, everybody you talk to talks about how organized and how detail oriented Cristobal is. Like, I think it's a good hire. I think all 3 schools right now have the same guy that they're going to have 3 or 4 years from now.
It'll be interesting. Like I said, if nothing else, what I enjoy, what I can't wait to see is will Florida State's match to the commitment that the other schools have matched.
Yep.
And if for nothing else, if I feel like fiscally the state of Florida can finally be on par with what Bama's been doing, what Georgia's been doing, at least from a personnel perspective. Yep. Facilities were still behind.
Yeah.
But what I
will be behind for a decade.
Well, what I told somebody is this: like, I know we're building. Florida's just got done with theirs. They're not breaking ground. You should be opening it, right?
Yeah.
Or is it breaking ground?
No. It's
all right. So Florida State, hopefully, I think in 2022 will be breaking ground. I need to see what you saw when you went to Georgia.
Yeah.
I need to see when that football only facility for Florida State is built.
Yep.
I need to see the plans and designs for the next one.
Yep.
Because this one is obsolete.
Yep.
Already. And now you can't, and what I was telling somebody is the problem I have is that you can't always play catch up and have expectations. At some point, you're going to have to be the innovator. Mm-hmm. And my knock, it's not a knock on Mike Norvell. It's just Florida State, like these numbers that are being talked about were the numbers that people were asking for 2 years ago. And we all thought it was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not like you could have been an innovator and on the front part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And hell, guess what? Ahead of it. And if it didn't work, if it wasn't looking good, again, like I always say, Mike Norvell would have still been there, except for now we're gonna go hire Mike Norvell with these things and the other pieces that he wants. So, but again, we'll see how it goes, and it should be an exciting next 4 to 5 years for fans of the Big Three.
Well, make sure you get to thehumidor.com for all your cigar needs. Thehumidor.com. Type in sportsden, all lowercase, all one word. You'll get 20% off, and at some point you get free shipping. We think it's
150.
150. We found that out.
Yeah, I found it out.
Okay, $150. You get free shipping. It
actually tells
another great Christmas gift, by the way.
It tells you.
Oh,
so like you put the discount in, and it drops you under 150, and it tells you need to buy one more thing to get free shipping.
Free shipping. Oh, okay.
So it encourages you to get free shipping.
Thehumidor.com. Sportsden, all lowercase, all one word. We back Wednesday?
I'm back Wednesday, but just stuff that I got to prep, got to push.
Okay, go ahead.
Next Tuesday.
Okay.
I think we said 5. I don't know.
I don't think we said.
Well, 5-ish, whatever. It'll be on Facebook. We'll be at Goodfellas Cigar Lounge doing a live show.
Well, that's silly. 5?
Well, Happy
make
hour.
it 6.
What's 6? Fine.
Yeah.
Whatever. 6 to 8. Whatever. 6
to
7. Our show will be going. Whenever our show is done, it starts at 6.
Okay, there we go.
How about that?
Yeah.
But come out, join, get involved in the conversation. Get you some good drinks. We'll have drink specials. Crown will be flowing for those. Get you a cigar. Check us out for that.
Goodfellas off St Johns Bluff.
3535 St Johns Bluff Road. There's a comedy show on Sunday. Tez Brooks is doing that. And then me and Chris Gwaltney will be on Thursday doing the cigar pairings.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, so $30 for that. That'll get you a cigar and the alcohol that we'll be pairing the cigar with. We'll be talking about the cigars. Come learn a little bit if you want to learn about the cigar culture. All those things will be available on our Facebook page for you to be able to RSVP. Check it out. You must prepay if you're coming.
That's awesome. I'd like to be there. We got 5 quarterbacks playing the state championship games.
Oh, you got to enjoy it.
I'm Tallahassee Thursday, Atlanta Friday, back to Tallahassee Saturday, and then down to South Florida next week.
I want to go see my boy Jason Roberts with Tampa Bay Tech, but he's playing St. Thomas Aquinas. Yeah. I just don't think he's going to win. Yeah. Love you, Jay.
Your boy Davin put on the show.
Man, everybody talked about it, man. Yep. I put it like it's a good kid, man. It's tough though, because I really like K Thru from Moles, but like I'm glad they won. I retweeted that, got some that video you sent me.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that. Yeah,
everybody's like, you were there, I'm like, sure, I'm always there. I'm everywhere.
I'm everywhere.
I'm like, but yeah.
Yep. All right, we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Y'all have a great day. Tell me when we're off.